Mouth noise. Every voice actor's worst nightmare, having the clicks and the pops that your mouth makes when you're trying to read a script can be frustrating. There are a lot of things that you can do to get rid of mouth noise. But drinking coffee is not one of them. But I'm doing it for science. I'm doing it for you to prove a point. I have some secret weapons that I use to combat mouth noise, and I'll tell you all about it right now. Coffee's good, though.
News from the booth!
Hi, villagers. Welcome back to the VoiceOver Village. I'm Rick McIver, your village idiot. Today we're talking about mouth noise and how to get rid of it. Now, I do have a secret weapon, and I'm going to tell you all about that closer to the end of the video, but if you're just wanting to skip right to my secret weapon, you can use the chapter markers below to skip ahead. I am going to talk a little bit about some of the traditional fixes, and so let's get started. First, what is mouth noise? Mouth noise is actually your mouth being dry, right? Your mouth is full of saliva, and when that saliva becomes sticky, well, it creates these kind of clicking, popping sounds in your mouth that are really hard to get rid of. But there are some methods that voice actors have used throughout the ages that have essentially helped reduce the mouth noise. So here are some of the traditional ones. Okay, first, the technology you use. This microphone is the Sennheiser 416. This little microphone will reach down into your soul to find mouth noise, especially when it's this close to your mouth. My advice, move it away a little bit. That's okay. Talk across it, back up a little bit. It'll help reduce that mouth noise. So when I got this 416, I found more mouth noises than I cared to admit. In fact, there was one that was plaguing me constantly, and you might be hearing it now because I'm not using the declicker, which we'll talk about in a second. I have an intra-nasal click that happens because this nasal passage is a little small, I guess, and so when I stop my words, you can kind of hear a little click. I've gotten better at... Did you hear it? I can hear it. I've gotten better at managing that and breathing through the ends of my words, but it's still there if I don't do that, especially because I just drank coffee. I haven't warmed up. I haven't drank any water. But yeah, change your microphone. So what I did is I shifted to this microphone. This is the KSM 32. It is a little bit more forgiving. I like the tone of it on my voice particularly, and I use it for most things. I have to go back to my 416 every once in a while for different character things. If I need a different kind of range of sound, I'll shift to this microphone. However, for the majority of my work, I use the KSM 32. Another notorious mic that picks up clicks a lot is the TLM 103. Apparently, that one is crazy sensitive as well, and it has a high output, and it will find all the little clicks that you're trying to hide. Okay, moving on from the microphone. The next thing you can do is with your software. Actually, you can use iZotope Declicker. Have a professional set this up for you, because if you do it wrong, it really messes with your whole sound in general. But the iZotope Declicker is amazing. I know that if I hear some clicks, all I have to do is run it through the declicker and they are gone, and it doesn't affect my tone at all. I had Tim Tippett's set up my declicker, and I'm so glad that I did. Okay, that's the microphone and the software. But what can you do in order to get yourself to be less clicky? First thing, you'll hear it from every voice actor: hydrate. Drink lots and lots of water. You should be sipping water throughout your read as well, like every 10 to 20 lines. Go ahead and take a sip of water. You'll find that you'll go through a lot more water than you have ever gone through in your life. But if you just take a sip every now and then, it'll help keep your mouth moist. I can hear clicks right now because I haven't done that at all this morning, so I can make this video. Make sure that you're warmed up, right? Do vocal exercises. Exercise your tongue and your mouth, and make sure your vocal cords are warmed up. You'll find that if you're warmed up more, you'll be less clicky. I've heard a lot of actors say, eat green apples. They swear by it, or drink lemon water. Any kind of citrus will cut through that sticky saliva and thin it out and have your mouth be a little bit wetter so that you're less clicky. Something that I've learned to do is to breathe through the end of my phrases. So if I have a sentence to read, I'll make sure at the end of it that I keep exhaling just for a little bit so this intranasal click doesn't kick in. And it also helps just move the breath through a little bit so your mouth doesn't close all the way, your tongue doesn't close all the way. And so an example of that is I have notes here from my coaches up here, so I'm just going to read this one. Find where to release the tension in the script. So there's a little bit of breath at the end after script. And that little bit of breath, for me, helps keep that click from closing up here and or down here or any mouth noise. It works for me. But if you've made it this far in the video, it's probably either because you jumped ahead, like I told you to, or you've been with me this whole time. It's time to break out my secret de-click weapon. You ready? Gum. So this particular brand of gum and this particular flavor, Ice Cubes Peppermint, works really well for me. And I can't tell you exactly why it works, but it does. Now, I don't chew the gum while I'm reading, but right before I read, I chew this for about 30 seconds to a minute. And what ends up happening, I have to wait till I chew, because I can't really talk right now. Okay, what ends up happening is after I chew that, my mouth is very fresh, the saliva is very, very wet, and when I start reading, all my clicks are gone. I can't tell you why that works. It makes my saliva wetter. I don't know what it is exactly, but that particular brand of gum in 30 seconds will get me ready to read. And so that's what I'll do. I'll chew that for 30 seconds to a minute and then start my read or start my audition or start my session or whatever I need to do. And I start on a very good note. Now, that doesn't last forever. It's a good way to kick it off. However, as I'm going through, the read, I'm still drinking my water like I should. My clicks have all but disappeared due to this little combination of icebreaker gum right before I start and then some water as I go through. So there you go, secret weapon revealed. I hope this has been helpful. If you want to watch some more videos all about voiceover and YouTube and things like that, these videos up here aren't too bad. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you watching. Until next time.